Boys and girls, this is the Undisputed Era. Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, Roderick Strong, and you're listening to Going In Raw, baby.
This is the glorious one, Bobby Roode, and you're watching Going In Raw.
What's up, it's your girl, Sasha Banks, the Legit Boss, and you're watching Going In Raw. You like that?
Hey, friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome back to Going In Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to right here at youtube.com/Steve and Larson, and available wherever podcasts can be found. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and the little notify bell next to it to make sure you always get your new Going In Raw notifications. We're also available on the Patreon at patreon.com/Steve and Larson. We have a variety of reward tiers over there. I'm going to go ahead and I forgot to do yesterday new Patreon shoutouts for the weekend.
Yes.
We got just a couple here. Alex Dula, Tom Kennedy Dak, and Oliver Blackman.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. So, Larson.
Yeah.
Bayley heel turn last night to close out Raw. Had everybody shocked. What'd you think about that?
I kind of had it spoiled for me before I watched Raw, but that's okay.
Yeah.
It was good. Mm-hmm. They teased it in her promo. Saying we'll see who's standing in whose shadow at the end of the show.
Mm-hmm. Wink, wink. Did she actually do? I missed that. Did she actually do like the awkward super winking thing?
That was subtextually. That was what it was.
Right. Yeah, and like it's the thing that I kind of like about it. Well, I really like it. Number one, because it healed. Who doesn't love a good heel turn, especially with a chair. One thing that I really liked about it is that like. They've kind of, they've been going. I'm not gonna say in this direction, but like Bayley's been more of a jerk lately.
Well, going
back, I like that.
Depending how far back you go, you can go back to the U.S. incident with Sasha.
Yeah,
that the seeds have been planted, especially since she post-Mania when they allegedly both heard Sasha had a fit about dropping the tag title, so on and so forth. She got moved to SmackDown, and when she did so she said, "I left all my hugs on Raw."
Yeah. Yeah.
So, the seeds have been planted for a while. Not that this was ever planned, at least that far in advance, but the steps were there. If they were to do it, it would make sense.
There is the idea that they had at least flirted with the idea when she was laying down the light profanity on Sasha before. And this is just, I guess this, to me, this is the clearest indication that we're probably headed towards. Maybe I'm just grasping for straws here, or just reaching, or just way too optimistic on this. But I'd love to see a 4 horsewomen fatal 4-way at the.
No, it's going to happen at some point. If it happened in Mania, but it's going to happen at some point.
I'm hoping it happens in Mania in the main event. I think that'd be terrific, but that might be too much to ask for. It's going to be the thing where they might do it at Mania, but Vince is going to decide moments before the show goes live that it's actually going to be the main event.
Oh, also that would require 7 months of storytelling, and usually. They don't take that much time with stuff. Yeah,
that's true. They had a last Ronda when did Ronda show up last year? That was the culmination of a year-long contract anyways.
Yeah, but the actual story that for the Mania main event really only kicked off at it's supposed to kick off at Survivor Series.
SummerSlam is when Becky got over real big with that turn.
I know, I'm just saying specifically the build to the Mania main event.
Yeah.
Really only started after the Rumble.
Yeah. But anyways, what do you think of Raw otherwise?
It was fun.
Yeah?
It was fine.
Yeah.
Cool. As tired as I was last night, it kept my attention for the most part.
Yeah. So. The community poll piped in yays 45%, in-betweens 18%. So that's 50, over 60% was either yays or in-between. The nays were like super low at 5%. Don't plan to watch 23%. So that's up a little bit from last week. And plan to watch later 9%. I thought Raw was really good. I thought that there was one thing that I sort of, I'm not going to say I had an issue with. They went really heavy on the OC for the first half hour.
Yeah, and then they didn't really do much with it afterwards.
And I really liked the idea of the OC sort of running wild because they did that with Cedric, and then they didn't do it again.
Yeah, it's probably just a setup thing with Cedric post, like last night.
Yeah.
Now Cedric can go to AJ and say, well, the reason I lost is because you threw me into the road case before my match and messed up my shoulder, and that's why I lost. So I want a piece of you. Because earlier in the show, AJ's like, who's going to step up to defend the U.S. title? Shouldn't matter. I'm U.S. champ. I'm U.S. champion. So I should be first in line for Universal title shot.
Yeah.
But the opening segment went on a little too long before the action now started.
Mm-hmm.
Like some of the talking could have been cut out.
I think that with Braun, they really need to bring him back to. I don't like him shaking hands with anybody. I don't like him shaking hands with they both step up, and Michael Cole's the moderator, and they both shake his hand. Braun shouldn't be shaking anybody's hand.
Well, if he does, it shouldn't be cordial.
It should be an angry handshake.
Well, it should be like here's a handshake, but there's always a threat.
Yeah,
that he can just Superman your hand.
Yeah.
And Superman 2, after he gets his powers back to General Zod.
Right.
There should always be that looming threat that he could just crush you at any moment.
That'd be a cool little directive if they just said, hey, anybody who shakes Braun's hand after you're done shaking it, go like this a little bit.
Yeah.
It's those little things that I think would be great.
Exactly. But pretty much all the matches last night were really good. They gave him time.
Yeah.
The 2 King of the Ring matches were really good. Lacey Evans and Natalya had a pretty solid match too.
The swing to everybody appreciating Baron Corbin has officially begun because that match was really good last night.
It was really good.
And just everybody was coming out of the woodwork saying, oh man, Baron's good. And you haven't seen that a whole lot. Like there are certain people who do appreciate his work, but like on a larger internet wrestling community basis, that really wasn't coming out. Let's see
you,
here.
man, Baron be the most fun King of the Ring, hands down.
There was and then Firefly Funhouse.
Yeah, that was good too.
That was. Are you kidding? That was amazing.
That was pretty good.
Him feeding Vince McMahon money. Oh, that was good. I really love that. And there's let's see here, and then we're gonna get for that King of the Ring. We're gonna get a triple threat.
I even liked the Rey Mysterio interview. It felt heartfelt.
Yeah, it did. Yeah. I thought it was a good episode last night. It was one of those things where it was like a surprisingly good episode because like at first it really didn't feel like it was going in that direction. It was like, yeah, okay. But then by the end it was like, holy crap, that was actually pretty good. They gave us some meat there.
They did.
So that was fun. Let's see here. All right, so let's just go ahead and kick it
off with the very first thing was contract signing between Seth and Braun for Universal title match at Clash of Champions. Let's try to get the SmackDown preview up. Sorry. So they talked back and forth a little bit. Seth said, hey, I'm going to walk into Clash double champ, and I'm going to leave double champ. And Braun's like, I don't think you are. And then Seth brings up the fact that Braun can never beat Brock Lesnar, whereas Seth, he had to slay the beast to get that title. And, that seemed like that stung Braun a little bit. Little bit. So they start putting pen to paper on this contract. Cue OC's music, or I guess it's just AJ Styles' music. They should really give them their own theme song. Something different from AJ's music, from Anderson and Gallows' music.
I really like Anderson and Gallows' music.
I like it too.
They should use that.
They could.
Do like some sort of variation on that.
I'm just thinking
it's a really cool. It sounds like a faction theme song to me.
It does, but I don't know. Like, just do something new to make them feel more unified as a group. Sure. Think about the AJ's music. It just seemed like, here's AJ and his henchmen. Yeah.
No, I'm with you on that one. Yeah, I agree.
And maybe if they want to distance themselves from the what they've done with Gallows and Anderson in the past, which hasn't always been good.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Then give them something new and fresh.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So like with Bayley, now that if she's a heel, new theme song, new Titantron. You got to lose the wacky wavy inflatable tube men.
They definitely have to lose the wacky inflatable guys, right? How do you redo, like, Bayley's theme song is really good, and I know it's very specific to like her face persona.
You slow it down, you do it backwards.
Wow.
You found there's all sorts of like hidden messages. You put the lyrics backward.
You, Becky.
I don't like hugs, stuff like that.
I've never heard it that obvious before. You gotta back.
I don't like hugs, like that.
Exactly. That's what you got to do, man.
That you just like, oh snap, she was a heel all along. She has fooled. Listen to lyrics backwards.
Hey, we should try that in the bonus episode. Play it backwards for the people. See if we can hear any hidden messages.
All right, fine.
I'm going to turn bad in September.
So anyways, the OC comes out. AJ talks a lot. It was like AJ talking that could have been cut out a lot because he goes back and forth about all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, but you know what? I actually kind of like AJ saying, that's all he got to do is look at a title, get a title opportunity around here. Guys, don't look at my title. I really like that he was he was being playful with the club.
I like that, but it wasn't just those two sentences that you said. If it was just those two sentences,
right,
then it would be it would have been fine. But it was a lot more
action now, please.
Yeah, it's one thing is to get moving.
Yeah,
because like he made his point and he kept on going on and on about it. Anyways, he mentions that and also says, "Well, I'm U.S. champion. I think I should be first in line to get Universal title shot. What has Braun done? He just looked at it. And then AJ asks, who's he going to face at Clash of Champions for U.S. title? And wonders why the OC didn't get a title shot, a tag title shot of their own, instead of a team that just got together.
All very good points.
And then AJ, as they're all walking the ring, says if the OC don't get what they want, no one gets what they want. And then he gets the contract, act like he's about to read it, and rips it in half. Braun tosses the table at him. AJ flops cartoonishly.
That was awesome because he tossed that table. That table probably weighs all 20 pounds.
Yeah.
He tossed that thing, and it was a great visual. It looked really good.
And then a brawl breaks out. Seth and Braun clear the ring. We go to commercial. We come back. We got ourselves a tag match. The OC taking on Seth and Braun.
With AJ sort of gallivanting
looming
around the ring.
Ringside to get involved, which he does. Towards the end, Seth gets ready to give a stomp, probably to Carl Anderson. AJ hops up on the apron. Yeah, it is Carl. Distracts Seth. Carl goes for a roll-up. Seth counters with a roll-up of his own. He gets the win for Seth and Braun. Of course, the OC hit the ring. We get a post-match brawl. They're brawling in the ring, outside the ring. Braun's doing a shoulder tackle gimmick. Accidentally dropped Seth with a shoulder tackle.
I like that. He's so out of his mind on the shoulder tackles. And what was Seth doing? Like, you see him coming from like a mile away.
Yeah,
Get out of the way. What are you doing?
I don't know, man. Sometimes Seth. He doesn't seem like he uses his for being the architect. I don't really feel like he thinks things through very much.
He doesn't.
Out there.
He doesn't. But, honestly, like the opening bit, it's funny. We go back to the opening bit with him and Braun and Seth just sitting there. He's so much better as a heel. And I know that's just not where we are right now. He's like wannabe face of the company guy. But I just remember him taking a seat at the contract signing before and his feet are kicked up on the table.
I mean, the heels are a lot more creative license to do things that are fun.
Yeah, they do. They do. And it's much more fun to watch. Faces work better when they've got something to like chew on. Something like him. Seth is just Seth.
This is too cordial between he and Braun.
It is.
There's nothing personal about it.
They're too diplomatic, especially from Braun's point of view. But Seth should also be like, man, he keeps on wanting to make Braun like his best friend or his brother. And it's like, nah, man, this guy is like, he keeps on staring at your property. And he just wants to take it away from you like a caveman with a club. And
just waiting to bash you over the head with it and pull you.
And then, of course, you get
the giant lump, pull you the ring by your hair and then pin you there, yes.
Exactly.
Yes. Anywho, so Dolph Ziggler, Bob Roode.
Oh, that's right.
Come down to the ringside area. They join the fight. They fight alongside the OC. Toss Braun to the ring steps. Go back in the ring. Seth gets in there to help Braun, I guess, even though Braun just laid him out. He eats a super kick from Dolph. Glorious DDT from Bob Roode. And then Braun kind of comes to. All four of the heels drop him with a magic killer.
They said the commentary sold that very well. It was a very cool looking bit, too,
And then AJ says, get him up, hits him with a phenomenal forearm. This kind of seemed like the OC was going to kind of run roughshod over Raw for the rest of the night. Yeah. Especially was it just right after the commercial break? Where, Here, let's just talk about that now.
Okay.
So Cedric's getting set up for an interview. Of course, he's got a King of the Ring quarterfinal match coming up against Baron Corbin. Yeah. So he's about to talk, and then the OC just lays into him.
Yeah, and they really take it to him. And
throw him into a road case shoulder first.
Yeah, and Cedric's really good at selling I'm hurt.
Yeah.
So he was doing that. So that was rad.
And then they too sweet over him.
Yeah. And then commentator's like, he's got a match coming up.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
If this leads to Cedric versus AJ at Clash of Champions, that's awesome.
I know. I agree totally. I agree totally. I just wish that like this wasn't it could still lead there, but I wanted in 3 segments down the line them to attack somebody else just because they're running roughshod. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. Agreed. I mean, like,
or at least let's see them get in a car and drive away.
Should happen is Roode and Dolph help them in the opening segment. All right, you know what? Actually, we should get that tag title shot. We're going to attack them too.
Yeah, but would that be a problem then? Because people would kind of cheer that. They'd be like, I mean, they're already kind of cheering them do cool.
Yeah, I think you just want them. The OC should be what Braun was when his feud with Roman, just doing cool stuff,
destructive
and just
things.
just looking out for themselves.
Yeah,
and not worried about the crowd, not worried about anybody else.
Yeah,
just running roughshod.
I agree, man. I think
doing what they want to do.
That'd be neat.
And not worry about getting them over his faces or heels. Just let them be them.
Because it just seems very specific. Like they went after one guy and they didn't do anything else.
And like you're saying, it probably is
just to lead to Cedric going to AJ. But it's like, I want Cedric to be the one guy who steps up.
Yeah.
After 5 people were attacked by the OC.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But also, the one of AJ's bones to pick was about the tag title situation. Mm-hmm. And I understand you have Dolph and Bob Roode coming out there. It benefits them to beat up Seth and Braun at the same time. Like, why would you still be cool with them getting the tag title shot?
I know. I was half expecting that to happen towards like the end of that segment. I was like, is there going to be any side eye from the club? Because these are the guys who took their opportunity, basically. Mm-hmm. So you're absolutely right about that.
And have them come out and attack the War Raiders too.
And there was something really cool.
That.
You know what? At this point, I mean, yeah, because of last week, but it's like the War Raiders are they with the squash and stuff. I thought for sure we were going to get the club versus War Raiders or some.
No, think again.
Hint of that, I guess, right? And it was very nice. It was awesome. One of my favorite things was the fact that Bob Roode is involved, even tangentially, in the A story, or the B story on Raw. I thought that was cool. He's out there. He's doing something. He's there. He was the one getting down in Seth's face, yelling at him. What?
There's one thing that commentary said during the tag match. Let's talk about this now, too.
Okay.
This is all kind of feels like one long segment.
Yeah, sure.
Where they're describing that the Rudolph dynamic is different than most tag teams, in that they pretty much said Dolph does all the real work. And Bob...
Did they?
Yes.
What did they... do you remember verbatim?
I don't remember verbatim, but it was like Dolph handles the majority of the things, and then Bob Roode handles the stuff on the periphery, essentially. They're saying, they're making the point that Dolph and Bob Roode wrestled their tag matches like two solo wrestlers wrestling, kind of independent of one another.
Yeah.
But they kind of made the point of saying that Dolph does most of the heavy lifting.
Well, maybe that'll light a fire under Robert Roode.
I don't know, man. Because they had a match against former tag team champions, Zack Ryder, Curt Hawkins. Went about as
Bob Roode has gotten the majority of their pins so far.
Well,
in the tag team turmoil.
It was 2 with super kicks, 2 with glorious DDTs.
Who actually scored the pin? Really?
The very last one? That I don't recall, but I remember it being.
I thought it's usually a super kick into a glorious DDT.
During the tag team turmoil, it was. I know Dolph won 2 of them with super kicks.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But this time, we'll just get to the finish because there's no real ambiguity who's going to win this match.
Yeah.
Bob Roode pinned Curt Hawkins after the super kick glorious DDT combination. Mm-hmm. It was a fun enough match.
Yeah. No, it was fine. It was, Hawkins and Ryder, they're one step above the dudes we saw later taking on the War Raiders,
pretty much. So. I did like Curt Hawkins' Edge-inspired ring gear, though. That was cool. Harkening back to his days as an edge head.
You don't want to go backwards, man. You want to go forwards.
I mean, if you can go forwards while referencing your past, that's fine. But yeah, you should always be going forward. It wasn't like he came out with the super long hair and you think you know me music.
On this day.
Let's go back to his early theme. Anyways,
Larson. Before we continue, here's a word from the sponsor of today's show, Manscaped. Have you ever found yourself in a situation where your lover has gone down to your front area only to find a huge mess of thick bush?
Well, we're here to tell you that messy doesn't have to be normal thanks to Manscaped. Look, I'm going to be honest here.
Okay. Shoot on me.
I can think of a time or two when I've been trying to groom my man zone only to come away with little bits of ball flesh in the teeth of harsh trimmers.
Ouch!
Yeah. That don't keep in mind the health and safety of my ball skin, but thankfully I am here to tell you today, right now, that Manscaped has totally changed the game.
Correct, friendo! Manscaped has completely redesigned the electric trimmer with their Lawnmower 2.0, which has proprietary tech that keeps your ball skin safe from cuts and snags.
Yeah, you don't want any cuts and snags down there. But that's not all. Manscaped also has Crop Preserver. It's an anti-chafing deodorant moisturizer for your man bits.
Ew.
We all keep our underarm odor in check, at least in theory, with deodorant, so why not do the same with your man zone? Keep it smelling clean as a dream.
Right now, friendos can get 20% off and free shipping and a free travel bag by going to manscaped.com and using promo code GIR. Use the right tools to keep your ball skin safe. Trust me, they will thank you.
As will your lover when he or she goes down to your hog pen and sees and smells that it's free of slop. No one likes messy junk. Again, get 20% off, free shipping, and a free travel bag by going to manscaped.com and using promo code GIR.
And thanks to Manscaped for sponsoring today's show, and you're really helping out Going In Raw and your ball skin. by going to manscaped.com and using promo code GIR.
That hog pen gets you every time.
Yeah, it really does. Towards the finish, I'm trying not to break. Anyways, Lacey Evans is back, Larson.
Yeah.
And she took on Natalya
This was actually a pretty good match.
This was actually it was a really good match. Yeah.
It was actually really good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was very excited by it. I was excited by it. No, I wasn't. I was thinking of Manscaped right now.
You are. Hog pen.
I was like Andrade on the beach. No, I was happy to see Lacey Evans put in a strong effort against Natalya.
Yes.
That's what I'm trying to say.
You're excited to see Lacey Evans put forth a strong effort in a match against Natalya.
Those tightest shorts. Oh, man.
Finish was actually really clever, too. So Natalya's raining strikes on Lacey while she's kind of has her. She's doing almost like the Yano thing where her body's between the ropes. And the ref comes and breaks it up. Prior to that, Lacey got her handkerchief and was about to, wipe her face off. And so she throws the handkerchief in Natty's face.
Yeah.
And Natty's like, "Why are you throwing this at me?" And then, pow! Woman's right.
Yeah.
Got the pin. It was pretty cool.
Good stuff. Yeah.
But even prior to that, they gave it tons of time. It was booked really well. It was a fun match.
Yeah, no, it was. After that, we had a Becky Lynch promo. She comes down to the ring, and she offers her counterpoint to Sasha's point.
Yeah, she said pretty much Sasha's, since she came to WWE, been given everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They even gave you a bouquet of flowers
after your matches.
Yeah.
It's true. That happened at least a couple times.
She said, I was an afterthought in NXT while you were getting everything, and then he came to main roster,
red carpet rolled out for him and stuff.
Pay-per-view main events, Raw main events, you name it, you got it. I got crapped on. Bang.
Yeah, pretty much. And she brings up Bayley and says, ever since you, Sasha, took your ball and went home, former tag team partner Bayley's been doing pretty good for herself.
Mm-hmm.
And she says that with all your talent, Sasha, really, you should be in this spot, my spot. But you're not.
Yeah.
I am.
I'm there.
Then she kind of challenges Sasha to a match. Sasha comes out to the ramp and she says, the only reason Becky got everything that she has now is because Nia Jax broke her face.
Yeah. She said, I wish I could have had everything, and I would have let Nia Jax break my face.
Yeah. Becky says, I've come out here to fight. Let's fight. And Sasha says, yeah, no, because I'm not going to do it for free.
Mm-hmm.
I only do it for the money.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll have a match at Clash of Champions. Becky says, cool. And then Sasha says, after Clash, the man is going to be the boss's B.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Light profanity from Sasha Banks.
This is a weird little bit, like, to have the Street Profits on where they are pretty much just there to throw to a commercial break.
It wasn't weird because they're doing that with them. I mean, that's essentially what they do anyways.
Well, I know they advertise usually what happens on Raw, but they usually give them time to talk. And this is just literally, what do you think of that? I don't know, let's go to commercial break.
I know.
It was just exceptionally pointless.
It's just more. I didn't think they could get more pointless, and they managed to get more pointless. So they're not going in the correct direction.
No.
But it is what it is. We'll see them on Wednesday nights on USA, hopefully actually wrestling. That'd be nice. Anyways, after that, we had Baron Corbin versus Cedric Alexander. Cedric was selling the crap out of his OC attack, and Baron Corbin, of course, was trying to capitalize on it.
Yeah.
But before the match, Baron Corbin, of course, rubbed his grubby hands all over King of the Ring stuff, the crown.
He went and stared at the throne, grabbed the crown, kind of smirked at it.
Mm-hmm.
And he did a picture-in-picture promo. Talking about how he's going to do stuff, be king, yada yada. He was going to do something. Once he attains the power of being king of the ring, he was going to shoot. I meant to make a note of this.
It's Drew's thing to fire everybody.
It was something kind of like that.
Okay, all right.
I remember hearing him say that, and I was like, well, that's kind of Drew's thing.
Yeah. I don't remember what he said.
It's something along those lines.
I'm going to buy a real Ferrari for myself now.
I can afford real. I'll be gifted a Ferrari when I'm king.
They'll give it to me.
They'll say, you're king of ring.
You're the ring king.
King of Ferrari, too.
I want to be ring king.
So Cedric comes to the ring, as you mentioned, still selling the injury to his left arm.
Yeah.
That occurred when OC attacked him.
I was just cracking up. Your first note here about the actual match is great. When Baron Corbin draped Cedric Alexander in the Tree of Woe, but over the other side of the apron, the outside of the ropes.
Yeah.
And he just started like a pendulum.
Yeah.
Just started swinging his head straight into the ring post.
That was pretty great.
He did it like twice. It was amazing.
Yeah.
That
It was
awesome.
pretty great. I wonder if one of the reasons why this. Well, there's a couple of reasons why this is probably one of Baron's best matches. One, Cedric Alexander is amazing.
Cedric Alexander.
But then also, there's a very clear story that's there to be told for him.
Yeah, sure.
It's not a situation where it's like, okay, Baron, go in there and just do your moves. Mm-hmm. You know, there's a very clear story where Cedric has a very clear target that Baron needs to attack.
Baron's really good, especially he's best when he has something to chew on.
Yeah.
And then the added, the bonus, which is probably the main thing. Cedric Alexander is one of the most creative wrestlers today. It wouldn't surprise me if he was like, hey, here are a myriad ways that you can beat me up in a really cool manner, and it'll help everybody.
Yeah.
Drape me over the apron, start swinging my head into the
Yeah.
Really, I can do that? Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
do
totally.
It. Just
You
do
should
it.
totally do that.
Oh,
all right.
Okay.
Wow, learning things.
I'm going to be king.
Thanks, Cedric. No, I'll be king. Well, this is all still predetermined. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm determined to be king.
I'm predetermined to be king.
So that was a cool bit. More often than not, Baron to be destroying Cedric. Cedric can mount a little bit of offense, but then again, there's always come back to the shoulder. There's this cool spot where Cedric was doing his kind of springboard flatliner through the ropes. Baron catches him into a deep six. That was really cool. Looks like the tables were about to turn when Baron was charging towards Cedric in the corner. Cedric gets out of the way, so Baron hits the ring post shoulder first, and then Cedric did that 3 more times. Just tossed Baron to the ring post, and then started kicking Baron's shoulder, kind of even the odds where they're both dealing with shoulder issues.
Yeah.
And then Baron's on the outside. Cedric hits a tope. Back in the ring, Cedric goes for a lumbar check. Baron escapes, goes for the end of days. Cedric reverses to a roll-up, gets a 2. Cedric hits a Michinoku driver with one arm.
With one arm, yeah, that was awesome.
Gets a 2. And the finish saw Cedric go for his springboard lariat. Baron knocks him off the top rope, picks him up for the end of days to get the win. Mm-hmm. Really fun match. Probably the best match Baron has put on since signing with WWE.
Yeah, I think so.
And I really hope this leads to a program between Cedric and AJ.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think that'd be real good.
Yeah, I think it'd be awesome.
And then Baron goes up and he sits in the throne.
Yeah. Bad idea on his part.
Yeah, it totally is.
But Baron is Baron.
So we learned that
Baron will get more out of losing this and yet sitting in this chair all this number of times. Like he might be the guy we remember. Because here's the thing, Ricochet's, it's either going to, I still kind of think it's going to be Andrade, and that's going to transition into a thing again with Rey. But Baron's going to run with, all this stuff that he does, he keeps amassing all this stuff that he builds on and builds on and builds on, and it's really terrific. Mm-hmm. Baron's really good.
Someone said on Twitter, I remember who it was, that 2019 Baron is 2010 Miz. And a while back we were
too many people appreciate, and I disagree with that totally. Too many people appreciate Baron.
I feel like 2019 Baron is probably closer to like 2013, 2014 Miz, when people were starting to come around to him a little bit. I
don't know if I'd make a Miz compared, because Miz, when
we have in the past in terms
of that's probably a more, you're probably right. That's probably a more apropos. You're probably right about that. 2013, 2014 Miz.
Post
when he did the talking smack thing with Daniel Bryan, that was really good. And that's when people were like, oh my God, man, Miz is pretty good. Yeah. Yeah.
Following the botched contract signing, Stone Cold chimed in on Twitter, and then he followed up later on saying that he'd be willing to moderate the contract signing next week at Madison Square Garden.
Man, I took a huge ratings drop on straight up Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Did you see Becky drop him with the stunner, though? That was impressive.
No, that was awesome.
That was a great looking stunner.
I saw that. I didn't watch the episode. Honestly, they should just keep it to WWE people. Like, they all have personality. They all know Stone Cold. Everybody loves Stone Cold.
That's what people really want to see, is Stone Cold interact with the stars of
today. I know, exactly. Just keep it to WWE people.
I know.
No, I don't. Who's the dude from the Cleveland Browns?
Baker Mayfield?
I could care nothing. I care nothing about that whatsoever. And the guy had zero charisma and no personality. Didn't know how to interact with Stone Cold. The guy from what was it, the Practical Joke thing?
Yeah, I don't know who he is.
Neither do I. All I know is he looked nervous.
Yeah.
Like, none of the WWE people are nervous around Stone Cold. You know, he's like their uncle.
Get CM Punk on there.
That would be amazing. That'd be rad.
After that, Stone Cold volunteered, and it was later confirmed that he will be moderating the contract signing.
Yes.
We get a Bayley interview.
Yeah, they're all making fun of Michael Cole for being a terrible moderator.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Bayley interview where she was asked about Sasha, and she's like, yeah, Sasha's my best friend. I don't know what she's doing. I don't really want to talk about it. Hey, I'm teaming with Becky. Let's talk about her. And then Charlie was asking, well, aren't you worried essentially that you're out there with Bayley? She main evented WrestleMania. Don't you worry, you can be overshadowed by her a little bit. And Bayley said, I'm not going to be overshadowed by anybody, much less Becky. And she says, well, by the end of the night, we'll see who's standing in whose shadow.
Yes. Good stuff.
No winking, but that was implied. Next squash match, Bryan Thomas and Tyler Hastings taking on War Raiders. They gave the jobbers an interview.
Yes.
Which is always great.
Yes, that's always amazing. Tyler, who's the non-honky tonk man?
Tyler
Hastings. He's like, I think Epico was in Discord yesterday talking about how he is one half of the tag team champions for One Pro Wrestling.
Oh yeah,
up in the Northeast.
Yeah, that they said they drove down from Pittsburgh.
Okay, all right.
From Pittsburgh to Baltimore for this match.
I follow this awesome Twitter account called something like local enhancement wrestlers or something like that. And whenever they do one of these matches, one of these squash matches,
they tell you who they are.
Reveal who they are.
That's cool.
Exactly. It's pretty cool.
There's a couple of really fun spots because the War Raiders are a really fun tag team. It's a shame they don't get to do this stuff with like in a title match. That fun splash that Hansen had against the barricade was cool.
Yeah, that was rad.
And then Ray Rowe powerbomb Bryan Thomas onto Tyler Hastings. And the finish, of course, was a Viking Experience pop-up power slam.
It's called
Hansen
the local.
got the pin.
It's called the local competitor at Local Comp WWE.
Cool.
And Tyler is at Ty Awesome Pro, and he was also number 437 in the latest PWI Top 500. The other guy is Bryan Thomas is Brian Hardy. He's the son of Barry Hardy, who himself was an enhancement talent who competed in the 90s. This was his second WWE match. He was in June of 2012 on SmackDown.
Wow.
He was in an episode against Ryback.
Wow.
With another guy.
Wow, 2012.
Yeah.
After the War Raiders squash match, you get a Sasha Banks interview, and she's asked if she's rooting for Bayley tonight, and then she just screams at Sarah to get the hell out of her face.
Yeah, that was cool.
Says, I see what you're doing here. Get the hell out of my face. Get out of my face. Next, another King of the Ring quarterfinal match. This one, Samoa Joe versus Ricochet. They each get promos before the bout. And pretty much as soon as the bell rings, Joe goes after Ricochet's leg. Sound strategy. Ground the high flyer.
Yes. Yeah, this was a fun match. It was a very physical match, as it would be if you're grounding a high flyer.
Yeah. There's this one sick bump that Joe takes where Ricochet lowers the bottom rope and Joe topples over and just flings himself completely over the top rope into the mat. That looked nasty.
Yeah,
like it hurt.
Yeah.
Great Joe Uranagi in the corner.
Who hits the best Uranagi these days, man?
Oof.
Who just had like a killer one that we saw?
Montez Ford did on NXT.
Boy, that was a good one.
I don't know. It's hard to top Joe's corner one, man.
I know, it's pretty great.
People are charging to him. He just picks him up and says, sit your butt.
It's like a Street Fighter move.
Yeah, it is.
It's good.
And he tosses Ricochet out to the floor, hits an exploder into the barricade, puts him back in the ring. Ricochet kicks out. There's a kick that sends Joe out of the ring. Ricochet hits the Sasuke special, goes up the top rope. Joe knocks him off his feet, puts him in the coquina clutch. And so they have their backs to the ring. And then Ricochet acts like he's about to pass out. Instead, he pushes off the ring post, sending them both to the mat. They both land with one arm over the other. John Cone, the referee, counts the pinfall, so it's effectively a double pin.
Yeah.
Now, there's some confusion. So John Cone goes to the timekeeper's area, puts on a headset, commiserates with someone backstage, and then they come to some sort of agreement. He takes the headset off. Ricochet asks him, so what's the deal? John Cone says there'll be a ruling soon. He walks backstage. As soon as he walks back up the ramp, Joe attacks Ricochet, tosses him back in the ring. Ricochet kicks him, hits a recoil. Joe gets out of there.
Yeah. What'd you think of that? The referee. A lot of people are up in arms about this whole referee business. I thought it was fine because it's wrestling and they change the rules every single week.
Yeah.
Are you with me on that one?
Yeah. No, I had no problem with it.
Even they even have made it like a book about the joke. That's the referee's rule book, which we have in our closet back there. Somebody sent it to us.
Yeah. It's a sketch pad essentially.
It's a bunch of just crazy random doodles,
mm-hmm.
and it's hilarious because they could do what they want every week. This is getting us, which they reveal in a little bit, a triple threat match.
Yeah.
For the Raw side of the finals.
Yeah.
Which I think is going to be really cool. I think it's fun.
I think it's fun.
Yeah.
And if the idea is to have Ricochet win, then you're really stacking the odds against him by having him face 2 heels, not just one.
And 2 big heels, too. Yeah, 2 big guys.
Yeah.
I know.
Next, Seth and Braun are backstage. Seth is like getting dressed, I guess, from what little action he saw to start the show. Braun tells Seth that he's unhappy that Stone Cold's going to moderate the contract signing next week. He said, I watched the Skype call where he put you over.
Which is great. Which is hilarious that Braun is like paying attention to Raw.
I know.
I was there. I saw it. What are you up to? Braun shouldn't care if there's 15 people coming at him. Whatever you do, you know.
Well, I mean, in the end, he says, I don't care what Stone Cold does. If he gets my way, he's going to get these hands.
These hands. But still, stop whining.
Exactly.
My goodness.
Braun shouldn't whine. Firefly Funhouse time. It kicks off with Bray apologizing to Finn for what he did to him. Devil Vince pops his head in, tells Bray, how dare you book yourself into a title match at Hell in a Cell.
How dare you, how dare you challenge Seth or Braun at Hell in a Cell for the Universal Championship?
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, it's okay. He said, you're. He's like, wait, no. Because look what I made. And it's just, it's like a
fat
bunch
stack
of
money.
It's like an Epico stack of hundreds.
And so he starts feeding the money into Vince's mouth.
Well, first, like Puppet Vince looks and he gets dollar signs in his eyes,
Yeah.
and then he starts feeding him the $100 bills. Oh,
and then
man,
Devil Vince is satisfied.
He's making the company money, Vince.
Yep. It's pretty funny.
Oh, that's so awesome. It's funny because I think it was Ringside News, which is one of our favorite sources of information. I say that with such a wink. They said that their headline was "Hidden Meaning Behind Bray Wyatt Feeding Vince Dollars." And I'm like, what? There's nothing hidden about that. That is the most blatant metaphor possible.
Yeah.
And all they did was they quoted Dave Meltzer, like just, talking about that. Oh, Ringside News. I love you.
Anyway, another great episode of Firefly Funhouse. Next, Corey interviews John Cone.
I will say this about Firefly Funhouse, though. They use the silly filter.
Yeah, no.
I'm not a huge... It made me think, oh, man, they're doing these sort of, like, less thought out. I mean, they're
rushed.
getting the... Yeah, it's more of a WWE production as opposed to a Bray Wyatt production.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's the guy who's dictating what's being said, but the...
the effects. He's not in there necessarily editing it.
Right, exactly, yeah.
Corey interviews John Cone. John Cone's about to tell him what's the deal. Baron interrupts, and he says, I think both Joe and Ricochet should both be eliminated. It's double pin. They both lose. John Cone says, no.
John Cone had some attitude on him.
Yeah, man.
I thought that he should have been more like just regular referee.
No, man, attitude.
All attitude?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Heel ref John Cone. He says, no, they both advance. Next week, you get triple threat, Baron.
Yeah.
What? Why? I don't get it.
That's what he did. It was awesome. I think he threw a shirt or something or a towel.
I don't like it.
After that, we had Rey Mysterio talking about his son, Walter.
Yeah, he says, Walter, I was going to retire, and then Walter convinced me not to retire.
I was this close to pulling the trigger on. There's a great Walter shirt at Pro Wrestling Tees.
Yeah.
It's that one picture of him just sitting there with like the PWG title and another title.
Probably Progress or something.
Yeah. It's just him just sitting there, but it's on black and it's like all kind of punk looking. It says Independent Wrestling or something like that. I was this close to getting. Instead, I got that awesome Joey Janela one with the skull and like the stuff. And then I got a Cal Jack shirt.
Good.
With the Pro Wrestling Tees. I think that sale is ending, in 6 minutes.
We have a sale we're going on right now. A Friendo Market goes till 4 p.m. Pacific time. FriendoMarket.com. You get 20% off with promo code ELITE.
Elite. Go now. We
Till
restocked restocked the SLAYEST shirt. We got a couple orders on that last night.
Yeah,
too.
we did. So this actually seemed very genuine and very heartfelt. Saying, usually it's parents who are encouraging their children to follow their dreams, but in this case, it was my son doing that for me. Yeah,
my son Walter encouraging me, and he was very touched by Walter, his son. After that, we had sort of a meaningless match, and it kind of irritated me, to be honest with you.
Why didn't they give Cesaro the night off? He just flew back from Wales.
Or at least a win.
That too.
I agree with you completely. I don't think Cesaro cares if he gets a win or a loss, but it's like, what? Well, yeah, dude. He just got in. He had like a killer match with Ilya Dragunov, our favorite, and then they bring him in. Hopefully, he got to fly the corporate jet with Triple H.
Yeah, you'd hope so.
No, we booked you economy.
Sorry, last row.
It's economy plus, but
last row on the plane, but that's the safest part of the plane. You can take some.
If it gets cut in half, you'll be good.
You'll be fine. He took on The Miz, but it was pretty much a meaningless match. It was fun.
Yeah, no, it was like Cesaro was incapable of putting on a bad, not fun match, I think. But yeah, Miz got the win with the skull-crushing finale. And
only one of them. When's the last time he pinned anybody with one skull-crushing finale?
Oh, I know. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Oh my God, you're right. Yeah.
And commentary spent the whole match talking up Cesaro's great match at TakeOver, and then this is like a 6-minute match.
Yeah.
And it takes one skull-crushing finale for him to get the loss.
That's pretty lame, Millhouse.
Yeah, it's kind of lame. Finally, a main event. What do they call this? The Women's
Champions
Showcase. Yeah. So with the tag champs, Nikki and Alexa taking on the singles champs from both brands, Bayley and Becky Lynch. What?
Sorry. Alex C. in here said Dominic Mysterio is coming on well. He had a killer 40-minute match on Saturday.
Before the commercial break, they actually thought they really did a really good job of isolating Bayley and getting the crowd into her really wanting to get that hot tag.
Yeah.
Even before and after the commercial was great. I guess it was more so after, sorry. So before commercial break, Bayley and Becky, they clear the ring. Cue Sasha's music. She walks out to the ramp.
Mm-hmm.
Back from commercial, Sasha is now ringside, and this is when they do this great stuff where Nikki and Alexa are tagging in and out, isolating Bayley.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Nikki's talking trash to Becky.
Yeah. Bayley just can't get that hot tag. She finally does. Becky's in there. She goes after Alexa, hits a top rope leg drop, goes for the pin. Nikki breaks it up. Becky kicks Alexa in the corner, and then Sasha comes into the ring, hits a backstabber on Becky, tosses Becky into the ring post. Sasha goes and gets the chair from under the ring, starts hitting Becky with it. Bayley gets in the ring, grabs the chair from Sasha, and almost looks like she's going to hit Sasha with it. Gives her a little bit of a smile, turns and starts wailing away on Becky.
Oh, man.
And the crowd was going bananas. They were into it.
I was watching live. I had to run an errand right before the show was going to end. I was almost going to be I'll catch the rest later. So glad I didn't. This is the joy of live TV, man, is that you get these moments and they happen and they're just fantastic. And of course, immediately Twitter starts blowing up. Oh my God, she was the #2 worldwide trending topic or whatever on Twitter. So yeah, I thought it was great. Little smirk and everything. And then they had a .com exclusive thing where her and Sasha embrace. They walk up the ramp, hand in hand or whatever. It was really terrific. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
So I'm looking forward to seeing Bayley on SmackDown tonight. Assuming she's going to show up, and I think it'd be a wise move, man. They got people's attention.
Yep.
Get them over to SmackDown.
Time to capitalize on it.
Speaking of which, let's do a SmackDown preview.
Yes.
How about that?
Oh, look at that, and there it is, the one for Bayley. I'll kick things off. Ali clashes with Elias in King of the Ring quarterfinal action. SmackDown's portion of the King of the Ring quarterfinals includes what is sure to be an intense battle between Ali and Elias. In the first round, Ali advanced by defeating Buddy Murphy in a hard-hitting, high-flying affair, while Elias had an assist from Shane McMahon in ousting Kevin Owens from the tournament 2 weeks ago. Who will emerge victorious and move one step closer to the crown?
Probably Ali, because Kevin Owens is going to be all over that match.
Yep.
Next, Chad Gable battles Andrade, hopefully in his new Rojo attire, his little tidy reds, in King of the Ring quarterfinal showdown. The Blue brand's other King of the Ring quarterfinal bout pits Chad Gable against Andrade. After weeks of Shelton Benjamin mocking him for his height, Gable showed his former tag team partner that size isn't everything by eliminating him from the tournament. Andrade is going to show Chad Gable that size is in
Size
fact
does
everything.
matter,
No. Let's see. But the Olympian's path to the crown now runs through Andrade, who is riding high after a string of victories over Rey Mysterio and a win against Apollo Crews in the first round, along with showing off his massive hog on the beach with Charlotte Flair, who will claim the final spot in the King of the Ring semifinals.
Will Roman Reigns apologize to Daniel Bryan? Last Tuesday, Roman Reigns revealed that despite Daniel Bryan's insistence, Eric Rowan was indeed behind the heinous attacks on the big dog. In the wake of this revelation, it still makes no sense. Like you have a Rowan lookalike. There's grainy footage of someone that looks like Rowan doing the attack. Just stick with the story you've been telling.
Can they at least explain away NWO Rowan
Maybe,
tonight?
I guess.
It turns out he had an alibi. He was at H&R Block.
There you go.
I don't know.
It's not even tax season. In the wake of this revelation, the furious Bryan slapped his ally and continued to insist that he had nothing to do with the attacks. Reigns, appearing to not buy Bryan's story, silenced the planet's champion with a thunderous spear. Despite the evidence pointing to him being guilty by association, Bryan maintains that Eric Rowan acted alone and claimed that he still deserves an apology from Reigns. Will the big dog forgive him?
Will Kofi Kingston be out for payback after Orton's vicious attack? Last week on SmackDown Live, Randy Orton sent WWE champion Kofi Kingston into a rage by once again targeting the champion's family, this time by reading a letter allegedly from Kingston's son, Walter. Kingston's fury seemingly played right into the Viper's hands as the WWE champion charged to the backstage area to brawl with Orton. WWE's Apex Predator took advantage of the close quarters, driving Kingston into the floor with DDT. The WWE champion is sure to be looking to make Orton pay ahead of their title showdown at WWE Clash of Champions. Will he be out for Retribution tonight, though?
I don't know. What will be the fallout of Bayley's shocking attack on Becky Lynch?
You ain't life profanity.
SmackDown Women's Champion Bayley shocked the WWE Universe on Monday Night Raw when she viciously attacked Raw Women's Champion Becky Lynch, smashing the man repeatedly with a steel chair. Initially, Bayley snatched the chair away from Sasha Banks, seemingly preventing the boss from doing any more damage to Lynch. But after flashing a sly smile to her former tag team partner, Bayley began waylaying Becky with the weapon. Bayley is undoubtedly still focused on her championship defense against Charlotte Flair at WWE Clash of Champions. But what lies ahead for her after she's likely incurred the wrath of the man? Find out tonight. SmackDown Live, 8/7 Central, USA Network.
I was going to check the while you go to questions. I'm going to check the numbers on that segment. I'm always curious about WWE's YouTube.
There you go. Terrence Thompson says, I'm going to tweet Steve my motivation for Bayley.
All right.
He's got an idea.
Okay.
Brandon Oltreas, can't find where to become a channel member. Help. There should be a join button, except it's not there on mobile, I believe.
Sometimes it's like hidden in mobile, and some people have been able to find it. But yeah, it's just the big button that says join.
Join.
So the OC interrupting the contract is at 1 million views. Bayley's heel turn, which went up around the same time. Okay, so 715,000. I'm surprised that didn't take the. I wonder if more. Yeah, I don't know. I wonder if more people tuned into this maybe on TV than. I don't know.
I don't know either. I don't know. Chris Velites, love joining the stream. My volume's still set to full from music yesterday, and Hogpen and Ballskin talk at full enthusiasm.
Heck yeah, man.
Not KM. Is there a new episode of Alistair's Door tonight? I don't know. He hasn't been on in a couple weeks, right?
Why is no one coming to my door?
Lay on his platform.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's do it that way.
Epico says, going in Raw exclusive. Here we go. I know Tyler. We're talking about Tyler Hastings, the jobber. Personally, he made $500 for the night. Hanson Man Bits smell. And he's got you guys some clips from backstage last night from Roman, Seth, and Bray.
What?
Really?
Wow.
Oh, my God.
Wow. Brandon Oltreras, anyone catch Rambling Rabbit holding a help sign? Yes.
Yeah, and shoves him back down.
Yeah.
That was good.
That was well done.
That was good stuff. All right, let me go to the Discord here and see what these fools have to say. All right, let's see here. A lot of nothing. Don't care about that. Here we go. Greg Morris. Always good for a question. If Joe eats the pin next week, then what was the point of last night? The better story would have been Ricochet beating three guys in a row who are much bigger. That's a good point. I get the feeling that Baron's probably going to eat that pin because he can do more out of eating a pin than Joe could.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Butts says, got your non-news right here. See, this is real news in my opinion. Marty Scurll. See, I want to transition non-news to let's just look at ringside news. I'm half joking about it. I'm actually pretty serious about that. Marty Scurll's Ring of Honor contract expires in November. Wasn't it? Didn't we?
We heard it in the spring at first.
Oh, yeah, we did, yeah.
Over here in the Patreon, Alex Foster asks, in kayfabe, why do wrestlers sign contracts without reading them? Because they have their managers read them.
That's true. That's good. How about this? In kayfabe, they trust Vince.
Okay.
Greg Morris, going on what you said about Seth, he should react to Braun looking at his title as if he looked at Becky. That title is his and belongs to nobody else. That's a dangerous territory you're getting into, Greg Morris, when you're turning Becky Lynch into his property. So I'd be careful with that. This is 2019, man. I'm joking, kind of. But would you be okay with Andrade using tearaway pants to reveal those red shorts? That's the only time I'd be okay with those tearaway pants, Larson.
Yeah, man. It'd be great.
I know you're a big fan of that.
Love it.
Yeah.
Gary MacArthur, why do people still take Meltzer's word as gospel when most of what he says is false or is just an outright guess? Case in point, the Enzo and Cass return and possible upcoming draft.
I don't believe most of what he says is a guess. I think that everybody has their sources. I think that I even think that Brad Shepard has a source. I just think that source is like super low on the rung, and he'll feed him stuff that is like, not really that great.
Yeah, maybe.
Or true. I personally believe that.
All right.
There is evidence to suggest he has no source and he makes it all up. I don't know. But I think that Meltzer has his people there. I think that things move fast. I think that plans change.
Well, and also I think people, depending where they are in the pecking order, have their own individual agendas.
And there's that as well. Absolutely.
I imagine there's a lot of politics in play backstage in WWE.
But I think that people still take. I think that there are some people who take. Number one, you should never take anybody's word as gospel, so to speak. Understand that things change, and that, like you said, people have their agenda. But I think that he's the reason why people take him seriously is because he's established a solid track record.
And he's been doing it forever.
And he's been doing it for a very long time. So
we've been saying this for a while. Like, star ratings completely subjective. I don't know what his track record is as far as breaking news. There's been some instances where he's been 100% right, some where he's been proven wrong. His foremost contribution to the industry is as historian.
I agree with that entirely. So, and if you take that away, even, it's not necessarily that he's so great at breaking stories. He's really good at, once the story sort of comes out, he'll provide a lot of context.
Yeah.
He's really good at that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Julian Rousel. So next week, does Bray attack Stone Cold?
I hope not. Kind
of hope so. Rich the Smash Bro.
Although that would make, if Stone Cold is moderating that thing,
that'd make all the sense in the world.
He just ate a stunner from Becky.
Yeah, on national television. He can take a mandible claw. Rick the Smash Bro. Who's a better MVP for WWE for the week besides Cesaro, just for the travel alone? Yeah, he's got to be a contender. That's for sure.
It's either him or Tyler Bate for doing 40 minutes lifting Walter We're going to do our review later on today.
Yeah, for that.
Chill Hafty. If Vince Puppet eats money, it's fair to assume Vince Prime also eats money. How much money do you think Vince eats in a single day in U.S. dollars?
Well, he is a billionaire, at least on paper.
Yeah.
So, $1,000?
Just gobbles 10 hundreds every day?
No, he does 110s.
Oh,
Fill them up.
Oh, wow. And then once a year, he'll do 1,000 ones.
There you go.
Yeah, could be. Let's see here. Oh, that's funny. WWE legend Batista to feature in Gears 5 multiplayer modes.
Oh, that's cool.
That's cool. I like those commercials for Gears 5, but then it's just going to be 20 hours of the same gameplay.
Yeah, no, Dave Adamski. Is it just me, or does it seem like bad timing for a Bayley heel turn? She has to face Charlotte at Clash of Champions, who is a heel herself. How do they turn Charlotte back to face, given the circumstance? Just let them be characters.
Yeah, I know.
Don't force them to be heels or faces.
It's this. You don't turn her back face. You put her in a situation where she's going to be fighting the people who are considered the bad guys now, Sasha and Bayley. You put her in a situation where it benefits her the most to help Becky. Mm-hmm. That's what you do. Mike Fiend. Funny moment from the dark match between Seth and Baron. The crowd continued to sing the Corbin sucks, he really, really sucks song. So Corbin grabs the mic and sings, Corbin's good. He's really, really good. Is there anybody having more fun in wrestling right now than Baron Corbin?
I don't think so.
I don't think there is. That guy seems to be having all the fun.
A blast. Mr. Lipkin Prime, if when Marty Scurll joins AEW, who should his first feud be with? Well, Hangman Page has tweeted at him that he's not returning his text, so after Page has a feud with Pac, it's time to have a feud with Marty.
I'm cool with that. That'd be good. I like that. The big question is, does Marty, assuming they're available, does Marty bring all of Villain Enterprises over with him? I think it's been a pretty cool faction.
Yeah. Yeah, it depends on the contract status. I mean, I'm guessing AEW would love to have Brody King.
Yeah.
He's young.
And Flip, of course.
Yeah, and Flip. Yeah, totally.
On PCO, he's scary.
He is scary.
Yeah.
He's the guy telling him to stop doing the suicide dives onto nothing, though.
I'm not huge on that,
Breaking
man.
his face.
It's like the bottom line is, I don't care how old you are. I'm sorry, I do care how old you are. Like, if you're 50 years old, you shouldn't be doing that stuff. If you're 20 years old, you shouldn't be doing that stuff. Let's see here. Snake Sosa adds, the join button can also be hidden if you are using certain extensions. I use YouTube Center, and it doesn't show the button.
Interesting.
Blake
Whitehouse says, so we're totally getting AJ versus Cedric in Cedric's hometown of Clash of Champions, right? Yeah, that's right. Cedric is from Charlotte. That's where Clash of Champions is happening. Yeah. That'd be pretty huge. Oh, Chris P. Bacon, with Bayley turning heel last night, which was described as long overdue. What is one heel turn and one face turn you like to see that you find long overdue? God bless Chris P. Bacon out.
Okay, wait, hold on. Did we get word on Chris P. Bacon's shoot name? Oh man, the mystery continues. So who's somebody you want to see show some edge?
Let's take Finn out of the equation because that's obvious.
Yeah.
Something feels like they've been a face for way too long.
Kenny Omega. You can go back to being a bad guy.
Yeah.
It's more fun that way.
Yeah. Someone who's a heel that could do I don't want I want everybody to be heels actually because it'll just be more fun. And then every storyline would be who could be more of a heel to the other.
Yeah, that'd be good.
I think that'd be way more.
It'd be like the Mirror Universe.
Yeah.
Everybody's a jerk. They're all trying to undermine each other.
Exactly.
I think it's a good idea. I like that.
I want everybody to be heels.
Yes. Perfect. Let's see here. This is a good point. Kane Carnage. I mean, this is just a point he's making. I hope this Fiend push is something WWE can learn from. Bray is actually immediately fighting well-known talent like Finn, and now either Braun or Seth. Meanwhile, Viking Raiders have had 3 months of jobbers. Yeah, man. They need to do something. They need an actual feud. So, anyways, what do we have coming up? We're going to look at Ringside News today.
I guess so. You've declared that's what. Are we going to play Kayfabe Corner with Ringside News?
Yes, we should. Absolutely. Anyways, thanks everybody for tuning in. We really do appreciate it. And then, till next time, we'll talk to you guys later.
Goodbye.
Be a part of Going In Raw today at patreon.com/Steven Larson. Starting at $1 a month, you can enjoy Going In Raw ad-free, gain access to the daily 30-minute Going In Raw post-show, exclusive merchandise, and so much more. Support Going In Raw today. Click the link in the description.